Do you guys remember this new Naughty Dog game that we talked about the other week? This intergalactic, the heretic prophet thing? And the actress Tati Gabrielle, we also talked about her a bit too. Well, she's back in the news. As Fandom Pulse writes, intergalactic, the heretic prophet actress mocks gamers with pro DEI fan art saying, "You mad, bro?" In a post to her Instagram stories, Gabrielle shared fan art created by ex-user Luaria of Ciri from The Witcher 4 and Gabrielle's character of Jordan A. Munn from Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet. The art shows the two embracing each other in a hug, drinking fragile masculinity tea made of 100% incel tears. Ugh, well that's disgusting. Why are they drinking bodily fluids? Like, oh, drinking incel fluid, incel tears to own the gamers. That's a really weird idea. I don't know why they would ever draw that, but they go on to say the promotional image states, "So DI-ilicious." Oh, and also the intergalactic person showing her middle finger. Tati Gabrielle then shared the art on her Instagram and wrote, "You mad, bro?" So these people are trying to own the gamers by having these characters drink incel tears and by bootlicking DEI corporatism. I mean, this is just a pathetic self-report, really. It shows how out of touch these people are. Gotta defend these massive corporations. Can't have gamers criticizing them at all. I also took a look at some of the other art that this artist has made, and they've got some talent. It's a shame that they're succumbing to political brain rot. But you know what's hilarious? On the tweet the artist made of that image, we can see a number of responses that they hid, in which a number of the responses bring up very amusing points. But I guess the artist didn't like that very much, trying to hide those responses. Well, we're going to show them in this video, so thanks for making them easier to find, I guess. All I gotta do is click that little button in the bottom right corner of the tweet, and there we go. "Leave the multi-billion-dollar company alone" gets hidden. Similarly, we've got this tweet saying, "It's amazing that these multi-billion-dollar corporations convince the very people who claim to be anti-corporations to defend them like their lives depend on it, as long as it's under the guise of quote-unquote owning the chuds/incels." Yeah, many of these people are complete hypocrites and or terminally online, or of course a combination of both, and it's very sad for them that they're too clueless to see that they're just being used like tools by these corporations. But hey, at least it makes for amusing content. Another response saying, "Cool, those games are free to join the other DEI games, we're winning," and showing game DI versus non-DI effectiveness. And we can see a comparison here of recent games to come out, the DI games being like SSK The Jail, Concord, Dustborn, Outlaws, Veilguard, Flintlock, Unknown 9 Awakening. And then on the non-DI side, we've got Palworld, Helldivers 2, First Descendant, Wukong, Marvel Rivals, Space Marine 2, and Path of Exile 2. And we can see that the peak player count according to SteamDB have the non-DI infected games just stomping the other games. The DI infected games just astronomical failures, except Veilguard, which was not a complete failure, but certainly did not succeed either. And the fact that the artist hid a bunch of tweets like this shows that they saw these tweets and got upset by them, which only ends up adding a very special layer of comedy to the whole thing. We'll take a look at one more response here, of course that being another hidden response. This one saying, "You've made them both slimmer, more feminine, and more attractive. Way to own the chuds." So kind of like a "you played yourself" sort of situation. I wonder what the artist thought when they read that one and then hit it. You'd think maybe they got some self-awareness, but yeah, probably not. Once again, back at Fandom Pulse, they would write about how the actress for that character, this intergalactic character one, would go on and repost the art on her Instagram, as we already discussed. Then further detailing that, saying, "This Instagram story post comes in the wake of the game getting massive amounts of dislikes and getting trounced in views by Elden Ring Night Rain. On PlayStation's YouTube channel, the game only has 2 million views. It has over 246,000 dislikes and just 96,000 likes. On Naughty Dog's channel, it only has 1.3 million views. There are 163,000 dislikes and just 67,000 likes. Also, of course, as previously mentioned, Naughty Dog did lock the comments on their channel, which they do mention here actually, saying not only were the trailers getting disliked, but gamers were lampooning it in the comments on the PlayStation trailer, given Naughty Dog turned off their comments. We get some examples of top comments here saying, "The most surprising thing about this trailer is that Sony left the comments on. They sell hair as a separate DLC. I feel like Will Smith will slap me for making fun of her. And the face she makes when drinking through the straw tells you all you need to know about how annoying this character will be." They then go on to repost a video which we also discussed a few weeks ago. The one where Tati Gabrielle essentially says that people need to not just accept transgender stuff, but embrace it. Which is basically like promoting toxic egg culture, to say the least. Something that's certainly not a good look. Okay, so you know that really lame shill news outlet, The Gamer? Well, they covered the whole Tati Gabriel art situation, and it's hilarious how desperately they're trying to frame this as gamers got owned. So let's have a laugh and take a look at how desperate their shilling is. They say, intergalactic lead responds to backlash, quote unquote, you mad bro, referencing the caption that Tati Gabriel put on the artwork when she reposted it. Their bullet points say, following its reveal, Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet was immediately bombarded with hate and dislikes. Tati Gabriel quickly shut the backlash down, sharing a meme of Jordan and Siri drinking fragile masculinity. So hold up. Let me get this straight. Her causing the discourse to proliferate and all this to get brought up again is what this person thinks shut it down? Because it actually did the opposite. I also love how they try and say that the sci-fi game already oozes style, down to a giant crimson red laser sword with a blade made of audio waves. Because to me the sword is actually kind of cool, but that whole scene is a completely wasted opportunity. It's the only part of the trailer where there's any action, any combat, and all they show the protagonist do is leap into the air and deliver one single strike. Like the most boring thing you could possibly come up with. Believe it or not, I'm actually going to reference Ruby of all things right now. Take, for example, early Ruby. You know, back when it was actually good. And in the trailers for Ruby, you could see the main girls, the protagonists, doing a bunch of cool stuff with their weapons. All kinds of different angles, all kinds of different attacks. You could see that these girls were actually skilled. My point is, you have this like major AAA corporation making this game, trying to sell people on their protagonist, and that single leap in the air strike thing is the best thing that they could come up with in their trailer. I'm not saying they need to copy Ruby or anything like that. I just don't think they really did a good job of selling the main character. And of course, The Gamer and these modern audience types, these DEI slop defender types, they'll prop that trailer up. Oh, it's so stylish. Jordan is so cool. Anyone criticizing it's just an incel. I think it's actually a part of a larger issue where these sort of people also have a very flawed perspective of what constitutes a strong female character. And continuing back at The Gamer, they say, there was a lot of excitement and buzz initially, and then the usual complaints of quote unquote woke started spilling in as the trailer was spammed with dislikes. The main complaints were expectedly about Jordan, comparing them to Concord. I love how that's now just an insult that can be used. Oh, your character looks like Concord. You look like a Concord character. That's great. And being up in arms because they're bald and supposedly ugly, quote unquote. But lead actor Tati Gabriel is already shutting the backlash down. Over the weekend, she shared fan art made by Luaria on her Instagram story, depicting Jordan and Siri from The Witcher drinking fragile masculinity. Gabrielle also captioned the post, you mad bro? But yeah, we already know all that stuff, so they conclude with this. Gabrielle is so excited to play Jordan. Thankfully, it's not all negative with Intergalactic. While the trailer was bombarded with the usual hate, Gabrielle isn't deterred and has been incredibly enthusiastic about her new role. I'm gonna be in a video game, y'all, going on to make the rest of the quote that you can read right there. And then they say the comments were filled with support matching her energy, with some echoing, let's go, while others said the news was iconic and incredible. Iconic, dude. Iconic, really? That's funny. Anyways, yeah, that's the situation. That's the news. As always, thank you for tuning in. Let me know what you think about this stuff in the comments. Also, have a great Christmas coming up. Consider liking and or subscribing if you enjoyed my coverage. Appreciate ya. And I'll see you in the next one.